the most terrifying unsolved mystery ever recorded. Imagine hiking through a frozen mountain range with 8 of your closest friends. The weather is brutal. The temperature is far below zero. But you're experienced. You've trained for conditions like this. You set up camp for the night. Everything seems normal. Then sometime after midnight, something happens. Something so terrifying that all 9 hikers cut their way out of their tent from the inside and ran into the darkness barefoot. Some were found frozen to death. Others suffered injuries so severe that investigators compared them to a car crash. One victim was missing her tongue, and to this day, nobody knows exactly what happened. This is the mystery of Dyatlov Pass. Chapter 1. The expedition begins 0:45 to 2:30. In January 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers from the Soviet Union set out on an expedition through the northern Ural Mountains. The group was led by Igor Dyatlov, a skilled engineering student with extensive hiking experience. Their goal was ambitious but achievable. The hikers documented their journey through photographs and journals. They laughed. They sang songs. They posed for pictures. Nothing suggested that this trip would become one of history's most chilling mysteries. By the end of January, they reached the slopes of a mountain known by the local Mansi people as Mountain of the Dead. The name would later seem hauntingly appropriate. Chapter 2. The final night 2:30 to 4:30. On February 1st, the group established camp on an exposed mountainside. It was an unusual location. Most experienced hikers would have camped lower down, where trees provided shelter from the wind, but for reasons still debated today, they stayed on the slope. That night was the last time any of them were seen alive. Something happened inside that tent. Something that convinced 9 experienced adventurers to flee into a deadly blizzard with almost no clothing. They didn't even use the tent entrance. Investigators later discovered that the tent had been sliced open from the inside. The hikers appeared desperate to escape. But why? Chapter 3. The search 4:30 to 6:30. When the group failed to return, search teams were dispatched. Weeks later, rescuers found the abandoned tent. It was partially buried in snow. Inside were boots, warm jackets, food supplies, everything the hikers would have needed to survive. Footprints led away from the camp. The tracks suggested the group had walked, not run. Yet they had done so nearly barefoot in temperatures below -30 degrees Celsius. The searchers followed the footprints into the forest. There, they found the first bodies. Chapter 4. The strange discoveries 6:30 to 9:30. 2 hikers were discovered beneath a tree. Both had died from hypothermia. Nearby were signs that they had attempted to build a fire. Several hundred meters away lay 3 more victims. They appeared to have been trying to return to the tent. Months later, the remaining bodies were found beneath deep snow. What shocked investigators were their injuries. One victim had a crushed skull. Another had multiple broken ribs. One woman was missing her tongue. Yet there were no obvious external wounds matching the severity of the injuries. It was as if an immense force had struck them. Investigators compared the trauma to the impact of a high-speed car accident. Chapter 5. Theories 9:30 to 12:0. Over the decades, countless theories have emerged. An avalanche, secret military weapons testing, government cover-ups, escaped prisoners, even extraterrestrial involvement. Some witnesses reported strange glowing lights in the sky during that period. Others pointed to unusual levels of radiation found on some clothing. In recent years, scientists revisited the avalanche theory. Computer simulations suggested that a rare type of snowslide could explain why the hikers abandoned their tent. But critics argue that many questions remain unanswered, especially the unusual injuries and the strange behavior of the group. Ending 12/0/13/0. More than 60 years later, the mystery of Dyatlov Pass continues to fascinate investigators around the world. Was it a natural disaster, a military secret, or something else entirely? The mountain remains silent. The snow has long since covered the tracks, and the final moments of those 9 hikers may never be fully understood. But one thing is certain: Whatever happened that night was terrifying enough to send 9 experienced hikers running into the frozen darkness, never to return.